Welcome to the VS Criminal Defense Attorneys podcast, providing an informative resource on criminal law with a specific focus on sex crimes. From protecting yourself from false accusations to understanding the exact boundaries of the law, being informed is always the best first line of defense. This podcast series is reviewed and approved by attorney Michelle Villanueva-Skura.
In this episode, we'll break down the pros and cons of posting bail versus hiring a private defense attorney, giving defendants and their families the facts they need to make the best decision for their situation. When facing criminal charges, particularly a serious one like sex crimes, defendants and their families have a difficult financial decision to make. Should they put their limited resources toward posting bail for immediate release or hiring a private defense attorney? As experienced Phoenix sex crime attorneys, we've seen firsthand how much this decision can determine the outcome of your case. While the choice of freedom is understandably appealing in the near future, the decision deserves much consideration. First, let's evaluate the immediate versus long-term freedom dilemma. When someone is arrested, the first thing on their mind is usually getting out of jail. It is a natural response. Nobody wants to stay behind bars, but prioritizing jail release above everything else may be detrimental to your case's final result. You might be wondering about the public defender alternative. If you drain your resources on bail money, you might find yourself resorting to a public defender. While public defenders are dedicated legal professionals, they have all too often been burdened with enormous workloads that limit the amount of time they can dedicate per case, limited funds for research and expert testimony, limited availability for client meetings and case preparation, and significant time constraints in order to craft individualized defense plans. Now, what is the value of a private defense attorney? A private attorney, particularly an attorney who has experience with defending sex crime cases, may offer advantages that would be crucial, like more time to thoroughly investigate your case, money to pay experts who are relevant to your case, additional time for meeting and planning sessions, experience with sex crime defense and Arizona state law, and capacity to begin working on your case immediately. Next, let's examine some Arizona bail considerations for sex crime charges. As sex crime defense lawyers in Phoenix, we commonly receive questions about bail from our clients. Bail for sex offenses in Arizona typically has some of the highest amounts in the criminal justice system, especially if a minor is allegedly involved. Understanding Arizona sex crime bail amounts will help you make informed decisions for your case strategy. Let's go over the typical bail amounts for Arizona sex crimes by statute. For Arizona adult sex offense charges, bails range from $25,000 to $100,000, depending on the type of crime and case. When charges involve accusations against children, these figures increase. The most common sex crimes committed against children and their typical bail amounts are sexual conduct with a minor, ARS 13-1405, $50,000 to $250,000. Child molestation, ARS 13-1410, $100,000 to $500,000. Sexual exploitation of a minor, ARS 13-3553, $100,000 to $500,000. Sex trafficking of a minor, ARS 13-1307, $100,000 to $750,000. Continuous sexual abuse of a child, ARS 13-1417, $150,000 to $1 million. Sexual assault of a child, ARS 13-1406, $100,000 to $500,000. Soliciting a minor for sexual exploitation, ARS 13-3554, $50,000 to $150,000. And aggravated luring a minor for sexual exploitation, ARS 13-3560, $100,000 to $250,000. In particularly serious cases involving multiple charges or aggravating factors, judges may post bail even higher or deny bail in accordance with Arizona's Constitution, Article 2, Section 22, which allows courts to detain defendants without bail when the proof is evident or the presumption great that the person has committed specific serious sex offenses. For Class 1 felony sex offenses like sexual assault, ARS 13-1406, where the evidence is strong, bail may be denied outright. Let's not forget that it is crucial to make a strategic decision. In weighing your choices between attorney and bail, consult a veteran sex crime defense attorney in Phoenix to talk about the following: gravity of the case. Sex crimes are some of the most serious crimes under Arizona criminal law. with potential sentences ranging from years to decades in prison. Long-term impact. A conviction does not merely imply imprisonment but lifelong registration as a sex offender, residency restrictions, work issues, and severe social stigma. Quality of defense. The difference between a public defender's limited bandwidth and a private attorney's dedicated attention could significantly impact your case outcome. And other release options. In some cases, your attorney can succeed in fighting for house arrest or reduced bail amounts or supervised release. All options that might not necessarily be explored as thoroughly without effective legal counsel by an experienced Phoenix sex crime attorney. Lastly, keep in mind the VS Criminal Defense Attorney's approach to sex crime defense. At VS Criminal Defense Attorneys, we understand the difficult choices faced by defendants and their families when they navigate Arizona sex crime charges. We offer the following: same-day case evaluation to identify possible defense strategies for your charges, early intervention in order to potentially secure more favorable release conditions or bail reduction, comprehensive investigation beginning at the time of retention, including examination of evidence collection procedures, strategic planning for long-term case outcomes as opposed to short-term relief, and adversarial pretrial motion practice to challenge evidence and protect your rights. Remember, investing in your future is one of the wisest choices you can make. Connect with our experienced attorneys today to get the guidance and representation you deserve. While release on bail means instant freedom, investing in strong legal representation can mean long-term freedom. Punishments upon Arizona's sex crime conviction are severe and potentially life-altering. The decision to invest in competent legal counsel often proves to be the better investment. Our experienced Phoenix criminal defense lawyers specialize in representing sex offenses and can walk you through the convoluted bail process while building a strong defense for your case. If you're charged with sex crimes in Arizona, or if a loved one is, contact VS Criminal Defense Attorneys at 4809-239-001 for a confidential consultation, or visit us online at vsattorney.com.
Thank you for listening to the VS Criminal Defense Attorneys podcast. VS Criminal Defense Attorneys are focused on offering clients personalized service and aggressive representation. Our attorneys are passionate about individual rights, government accountability, and personal freedom. No matter what you are charged with, our criminal defense attorneys will be there to guide you. Call today to schedule your strategy session. It is time to fight back.